Hey everyone, Sal Pietro, the ATM CEO here at ATMIA 2026. I'm here to show you how money moves, the latest things that are happening in the industry, and where the future meets today. Most well-dressed man of the evening, Michael. Look at you.
Hey man, I patterned after you. I got it.
He just shows up and every year he just brings it one more notch higher. I got you tomorrow though. This is a setup. I'm here with Joshua Sacato.
So I'm here with Ed and Fareed.
I want to introduce First Sentinel Bank.
Okay.
I'm here with Ryan from Infinity Wrap. I'm here with Sam Ditzian, Tremont Capital. It's so easy to infiltrate an industry. Whatever you're doing, just do massive action. Don't listen to anybody. And I guarantee you in a short amount of time, you will be known by everybody in your industry. It's a fact though. You see it right now.
One of the biggest, strongest, and fastest growing ATM independent employers. You know them by their tagline, ATM Up. I know them as thousands that lead.
So today we're going to talk about exits. I will tell you from all the conferences that we're doing, this has been the topic that has been brought to us more than any other topic was how does an exit look like and how do I start planning for an exit? So what we're seeing right now, my team had all these great slides with statistics and numbers, and I said, please get all of that out of there. I'm an operator. I said, I'm talking to a room of operators. We don't really care about the statistics. We care about real life and what it actually looks like. And if I'm retiring or if I'm looking to acquire, how does that even happen? What should I start doing today versus not doing today? And what we commonly see is that people don't have an exit strategy. They have no idea how they're going to even get out of their business. They've created this business around themselves. They just wake up and they do it over and over again, and then they wake up one day and they're like, wow, I'm at retirement age and I don't have a plan. My kids don't want my business. They've seen me go do this and they actually hate my business, right? I have that experience in my own family, for instance. My son, you'll see him going around here, he's 13. He's been helping us at these conferences since he's been 8. But one thing he always says, hey Dad, I love doing this with you, but this is not gonna be for me. So you better make some plans when I get older because I don't wanna take over the company. So he's already telling me. So a lot of people have had that experience, and even as a father, I wish he changes his mind, but at the same time, I'm happy he's gonna do his own thing and make his own path. So why is now the time? Now's the time because we're seeing the biggest transition of opportunity and wealth with the baby boomers hitting retirement. And going to what I just said, a lot of these families do not want to take over the family business. They've been taught to go out, do their own thing. They've watched their parents struggle, and they don't want the business. So what do? You're a founder, it's the only thing you know. All the operators in this room know what it's like to run an ATM business. The idea of getting out of that and selling it is almost too much to even comprehend. So we see a lot of people will run these companies till they're almost worth nothing instead of starting to look at planning. So one of the things that we do as a company is we help a lot of those companies put those pieces in place so when they are ready to retire, we're there to help them do it.
All right.
So I'm here with Joshua Sacato, private client leasing. I want him to explain to you about leasing your ATMs. This is something that's been missing in our industry. He's letting me know that he's been able to do this for a while. I just don't know where he's been, but I'm bringing him to you. Go ahead, Josh.
Thank you, Sal. Appreciate it. So private client leasing, we've been around since 2020, financing credit card terminals, point of sale systems, but we also do ATM machines now. Very simple. It's all based off of credit, right? You want to finance one ATM machine or 100, we will do all of that for you. So we'll bill your customer, pay you up front the commission, and It works.
Now, do you do used equipment as well, or just
We
brand
do,
new?
yeah. So it could be refurbished as well.
Okay.
It just needs, yeah. We got it.
I've got customers that are looking for a package of refurbished ATMs where we refurbish. We do certified on the refurbishment.
Sure.
We could do that to you. We could bring that to you as well.
Yes, you could. Yeah.
Okay. Bitcoin machines as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Any type of kiosk?
Anything that accepts a debit card or a credit card.
All right, you hear it first. Reach out to us if you're interested in leasing your next ATM. What is the path forward, right? So like I just said, it's one, you just do nothing and you just run your company until like you don't know what's going to happen in the industry. I'll just get up and I'll keep doing it, right? Or two, you acquire. Why do you acquire? Because if you acquire, you can scale the company and get it to a place where it becomes much more valuable. Or three, you start looking at what it looks like to sell. What does my exit look like? What are the things that I need to do today if I'm looking at retiring 1, 3, 5 years from now? You shouldn't be looking at what you want to do when you're going to sell a month before you're about to make a decision to list your route for sale, right? You'll get the worst valuation, you'll get totally surprised, you're going to be totally misaligned with the marketplace and the buyers. So those are the things you start wanting to think about as you're getting ready to exit. You want to have the cleanest possible books for the person who might acquire you, because it also eliminates a lot of potential risk. If they see clean books, they know what they're getting into, and guess what? You can command a higher price because it's like, hey, we're legit. This is exactly how we run our business. You know exactly what you're buying. All of our expenses are laid out. It's not a mom and pop that we do everything and what you're buying is completely different. You're not gonna have to worry about being retraded a week before the closing. And then lastly, which a lot of people might not understand why I put that in there, operators are seeking legacy, not liquidation, or not just liquidation. Me being an operator, talking to a room full of operators, you've sacrificed your life for their company, right? You're not just running a business. You're answering phones on the weekends, missing events, missing holidays. You care about what happens to your company after you leave the company. It wasn't just a paycheck, because listen, this is a hard industry. If it was just about a paycheck, you picked the wrong industry, because you honestly have to love what you do in this business and care about your merchants. So at the same time, what happens to your merchants after you leave, a really good operator, it's important to them. So being an operator, if you're able to talk, and I gotta tell you, majority of the acquisitions we've done as a company and that we've won, it hasn't been because we offer the most money. It's because we are talking to those sellers, telling them, we understand that your legacy is important. We want to continue what you've done. And we want you to see what is going to happen with your baby after you retire, and it gives them a sense of pride. Like, don't discount that. Don't discount that in your negotiations either. Dollar ATM Club. These are two guys that have literally revolutionized how to get used parts and starting to help a lot of the new beginners into the space get in at a much affordable cost. Can you just tell our audience a little bit about what you do and really the genesis of why you're doing what you're doing?
Well, we sell parts and accessories for ATMs, and our prices are probably cheaper by 40%, 50%.
So if you're rapidly growing your ATM route and are short on cash, or you're looking for repairs at a much, much more affordable price, look up Dollar ATM Club. We use them ourselves here at ATM Up. You know, and then here we go. Lessons I've learned from the field. Over the last 2 years, we've done probably 20 acquisitions, from small to multi-million-dollar acquisitions. And I will tell you, I've even personally screwed up a lot of them. So there's not like I'm up here telling you this is everything you're going to do. I know exactly what to do is right. It's because we made a lot of mistakes. So like, I'll give you an example of a mistake what was a good one? Oh yeah, you're in a marketplace. You've got your competitor or a friend of yours in the industry that you've always told them, hey, when you're ready to sell, I want to buy your company. And you've worked with them and you like them, and all of a sudden the time comes. You want the deal so bad that you don't do proper due diligence. You overlook red flags. He's my buddy, it doesn't matter on this one, on that one. Then you close on it, and guess what? Money's involved, and guess what? That friend isn't as close as you thought he was. He wasn't running his company as cleanly as he portrayed. Those merchant relationships weren't as good as he said. You know, then you start going around and you find out Muhammad told him 3 months ago that he was leaving in 6 months, and guess what? Muhammad is the biggest location, right? And he knew that, and he didn't disclose that, and you didn't go through the contracts the way you should have because you wanted it so bad. So that's a mistake I've made, is not going through the process of proper due diligence, overlooking some things instead of having those tough conversations during the negotiations, being willing to walk away from something that you really love because it's not adding up. You've got to think of this as a serious business. You've got to look at it as these things have to be in place, and if it doesn't work out, there's going to be another opportunity. All too much, and again, me included, you want something so bad because you've been waiting for it, you overlook everything. You're like, I can fix that, I can fix this. And in the end of the day, what you're doing is you're buying yourself a problem. No, I want to introduce First Sentinel Bank. They have changed the way that a lot of ATM operators are able to operate with their banking solutions. Samantha, take it away and tell us about the hole in the industry that you're fixing, one customer at a time.
Yes, thank you, Sal. So we actually have developed a program that allows us to bank ATM operators' ISOs from coast to coast. As Sal mentioned, we did work with some operators, identified the hole in the industry where banks are just shutting operators down. We've worked with a lot of customers who have called us. One most recently that was given just 7 days to find a new bank. So we're able to offer those accounts, the vault accounts, operating accounts, any account type that they're looking for. We also have a very competitive fee structure. So it's actually, we're not out there charging strap fees, order fees, anything like that. And we are able to work with armored couriers of pretty much any operators or ISOs choosing.
Yeah, so for, how do you say it, for disclosure purposes, I am a courier for them in the state of Florida. I like to think of myself as the preferred courier in the state of Florida. So if you're looking for a way to get your money and you're tired of the old banks where you're afraid that they're going to shut you down, have a relationship with a bank that actually cares and wants your business.
Long term.
Long term. Oh, are you guys still doing the guarantee in your contracts like you did with us?
Yeah, so we do offer a 5-year contract term.
So like to me, that was like one of the biggest things. So did you hear that? As long as you're able to stay compliant, they give you a 5-year guarantee contract, where most ATM operators are afraid every day. They get nervous that they're going to get a letter from their bank shutting them down for just running a legitimate business. This solves that issue so you can concentrate on growing your business instead of being in fear that your bank might shut you down for no reason whatsoever. Looking at some of those red flags and determining what is going to be your exit, right? Because remember, even when you're buying, you should be looking at, I'm buying this, but what is my end goal to sell, right? If you're not looking at how you're going to unwrap what you're putting together while you're actually acquiring it, it's the biggest mistake that you're going to have. Why is that? Well, just because you're willing to accept that red flag doesn't mean that the next guy, that might be a deal killer for him. He doesn't have a relationship. He's not going to accept. Like, I'll give you an example. We were one of the first companies to sell a large route to PAI many years ago to start the Vantage program. And during their due diligence, they identified we had a large Hispanic supermarket chain. And in that contract, there was an out before the renewal. And it was like a year or two out. But because there were so many locations for that supermarket chain, PAI said, you've got to have a clawback clause here just for this one customer. And they were a great customer of ours, knew them personally for years, knew the father, the children that took over the company. We said, okay, But we tried to fight it, but ultimately it was a deal killer because it was such a big percentage of the overall company. Fast forward 3 days before we're about to get our money. The money's already spent in my head, right? I'm waiting for the attorney to remove this escrow from us. I'm already looking at what we're gonna buy with the money. We get a letter from the supermarket chain canceling the contract. And we called them up. Why didn't we even get a phone call? And it was like, hey, Wells Fargo wants to come in, and we have full access to all the ATMs. They're offering us more money than the ATMs actually make. That's how bad they want this, because they want our customers. So there's no reason to call you and try to have you bid, because there's nothing that you can bid to even compete against them. And good for PAI, right? Bad for us. Looking at it, we should have probably negotiated that a little bit better on what the payout should have been, because they did get the full contract out. But it goes to show you how important it is to do that proper due diligence and make sure that you're looking at anything that on an exit where your value is going to be, if that makes sense. So, well, let me go back here. The last thing I put over there was scaling without losing operational discipline. This also goes back to what Billy and John were talking about in the previous session. Building those systems, having everything in place. Why is that important? Without it, you can't handle the growth. And two, if you don't have a system to sell, you're going to get the least possible multiple on what you're selling. I'm here with Sam Ditzian, Tremont Capital. The reason why you have to know Sam, he's been in the industry forever. He actually received the Lifetime Achievement Award. Isn't that so today?
It is. I came to the first conference here 24 years ago.
So tell us, what does Tremont Capital do, and what have you been doing with your company over that time period?
I do a combination of business strategy consulting and M&A advisory work within the ATM industry.
Oh, so we need to know each other then. We are doing M&A right now at a high level, so this is great. See, I didn't even know that. So you never know who you know when you're in the room. It's so important. It's not about getting in the room, it's about what you do once you get in the room. Now, me and Sam are going to talk off camera. So like for us at ATM Up, we end up having our internal system that we've coined ATM Rev. But that's all it is going back to what he's saying, is this is a system that we put in place to literally systematically look at everything we're doing, all the way from contracts to trying to optimize the volume of a location, to looking at ancillary products that we can bring on to increase how much revenue per location we're able to capture. So at the end of the day, that allows us to build something that's much larger than an ATM route. And when we go to sell one day, we'll hope to get a much larger multiple than just selling an ATM route, because what we're doing is we're selling a process. We're selling something that whoever comes in there doesn't have to be from the ATM industry. All they have to do is follow the process, continue to sell, and continue to grow what's already there for them. So, opportunity window, why time matters. Reason why times matter is because right now we got two things happening. One, baby boomers retiring, right? They're only going to be retiring for a short amount of window. And by the way, this is not just for the ATM industry. What I'm talking about is happening industry-wide. I've got friends in all different service sectors, from plumbers to roofers, that are rapidly scaling right now and acquiring and putting things underneath one roof. And a lot of these baby boomers are happy to even get an offer, because they didn't have successful succession planning. They didn't have a plan. They just ran their business, they lived off their business, and then guess what? They woke up one day, the kids are gone, I'm 65 years old, I gotta figure something out, I'm tired, and then that's when they started thinking about it. So right now, if you're prepared, you're gonna be, and let's say let's shift it, you're the buyer. Right now, knowing that a lot of these baby boomers are tired, they're burnt out, they didn't put those systems in place, you have an opportunity right now to pick up ATM routes at a discount. Most of what we're buying are some of our customers who we've put these systems in place for them, but before we were there, they didn't have a system. So for us, it becomes very easy because we're buying something that we already know But on some of these people that aren't with us, we're getting them for, 1 year revenue, like 1 year multiples, and they're happy to even get out. And what we're looking at is you've got to think beyond just the current state of the ATMs. Anybody who thinks that the ATM industry as it exists today is going to continue is either not very smart or they're kidding themselves. They just have their head in the sand. This entire landscape is shifting. There's new technologies coming out. There's so much happening before where the retail and the financial institutions were so separated and so wide apart. They're getting closer and closer together, and there's having more and more crossover. So the companies that recognize this and are building the infrastructure right now are going to be the companies that are going to be in the place to take advantage of it. So if you're buying and growing right now, and that's your goal, don't worry about the fact that ATM transactions are trending down. Look at the bigger picture of what you're trying to create. So like for us here at ATM Up, like one of the biggest things we're always looking at is revenue per location, not just on the ATM. What are the other things that those merchants may need that I can provide them? What are some of the financial items that they need? Can I provide change orders for them? A lot of them, they've got to get their change from Loomis and Brink's extremely expensive. Can you as the ATM operator offer that? Can you do cash pickups for them? Start thinking about some of the things that are already in your wheelhouse that you're already paying expenses for, right? Anything that you're already incurring the expense, you should be looking at what can I add revenue-wise. So like I see over here, I see Shane walking out in the back. Thank you, Shane. I'm not calling you out, but like for instance, he runs a Bitcoin company. How many of you guys are into Bitcoin? How many people here can actually add a Bitcoin location to their current ATM location? See, Shane, you almost walked out before I gave you a plug. No, but seriously, like that's what I mean. Like who's doing merchant service? Who's doing AirVac? Who's doing EV charging stations? I'm just giving you ideas of a lot of the things out there that you can add to your existing merchants. And guess what? A second sale is always easier than a first sale. And once you have more than one item with them, your relationship gets very sticky. Even if there's a sale of that location, for that person now to unwind multiple items, it becomes very difficult. It doesn't matter if they have the ATM guy because like, hey, if I have to take the ATM out, I got to take this, and that out. Oh, I can't have you take that out. Well, then you're going to leave the ATM alone also because this is all connected. Like we bundled your service, the pricing is based on bundle, whatever it is that you're doing. So, like I said over here, the rest will react to it. The people that do absolutely nothing and they're like, I'm just going to run my business the way it is. You'll do fine, but going earlier when they were asking the question about attrition, you're the ones that are going to be you're going to be stuck. Whatever the attrition is, it is.